Yeah, so I'm playing the same deck as I did yesterday. I'm not 100% sure of which changes need to be added to the deck, which is a key part for that. Um, and yeah, I'm streaming the same deck because I've only had the chance to play it yesterday, and honestly, it's actually surprised me. It's very well positioned. While the red green monsters decks or the one splashing Elspeth did okay at the Pro Tour, the key here is the format's changed a bit, and none of the nihilists really went for the Brimaz Fleece Maiden approach. So I want to see how this goes. It does have less removal than the black version, but that's compensated by more frets, which is good against the junk metagame. Anyways, we're starting the daily right away. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. This isn't the best hand, I gotta be honest. However, if we top deck a Fleece Mane or Brimaz, we can play it. Otherwise, I have tons of removal to deal with anything that comes our way. This hand's actually amazing against aggro. And where our temples, we're probably going to be digging for frets, so I'm not going to mulligan because our mana's quite good. I'll start with a Temple of Triumph just because we have the force for the Fleece Mane as well. Corsair Crewfix is definitely a keep, just because we have the Caryatid Corsair draw that way, which is very powerful. He starts with Temple of Plenty, meaning we're unlikely to get Thoughtseize next turn as well. Temple of Plenty means a couple of decks. Obviously, I'm not changing what I'm playing as a result, but we'll see. Okay. It's definitely correct to start with Caryatid if I knew he was on junk. Okay, so hopefully get a land off the top. That just feels like absolute gravy. Yeah, so because we're looking for frets, the dragon's going to stay on top. Even if we can't play him next turn. Oh wow, we got the same opening, except his suffered from having only a Caryatid on top. Which does change things significantly. Thoughtseize on top is interesting because I can't cast the dragon, so it's likely to be taken here. Fleecemane on top, huh? I'm okay with Fleecemane on top because it's a fret. So what I'm going to do here is go Caryatid, Temple of Banning, keeping Fleecemane on top, and Destructive Revelry. So we're going to start with Revelry. Killing his Courser, since there's not many targets in the junk deck, and that's one of the better ones. Attacking for 2. That way, at least, the Thoughtseize will be a little less impactful in terms of not so much like I can put pressure on him, right? It's gonna be hard for my opponent to. I mean, I guess the Sylvan Caryatid's on top, so it's not that bad for my opponent. We're keeping the Fleecemane on top because even if it's a little bit on the weaker side of the frets spectrum, because I don't really want to lose frets at this point. I am slightly tempted actually to wait a turn for it. Yeah, so he goes Thoughtseize. Obviously takes the dragon here. I don't even think it's like particularly close. And then there's the awkward part that Fleecemane. We'll see what's on top to make my decision. That makes my decision incredibly easy. The Caryatid on top is a bit awkward because that's a dead draw for sure. But being able to play Fleecemane and Monstrous Scene it right away, it's very strong. Although it's worth noting, my opponent has an Elspeth. I am in some trouble. Not too much, but a little bit. So can't attack here, but at least it's looking promising potentially. Yeah, Elspeth would be awkward here, just because he can like make free tokens and yeah, it's not so bad because for my opponent, like it's like my opponent should make free tokens here for sure. I have a few options here. I can play Banishing Light straight away. Or I could attack the Elspeth with a Courser and Fleece Mane. Making my opponent lose a soldier in the process. Depends on like the skill level of my opponent. I personally would want to attack my opponent just to make things easier. Because I have Banishing Light, so that makes complete sense to me. I'm going to play the Mana Confluence now. Xenagostic Reveler is okay. Giving me some time to draw something relevant. Sorry, being a threat. Yeah. Banishing like the Elspeth. My opponent could have Bio Blight for the Carotid, but it's doesn't matter ultimately. The Carotid might as well be in play. Adds like it's just extra mana. It's unlikely to matter, but yeah. Depending on my opponent, this really much depends on my opponent's hand. Read the Bones is not good for me. I'm not putting enough pressure. So it is actually an issue. Um, and my opponent put both cards on top, so that's not good. That's really not good. However, my opponent like was scared of drawing something less relevant, but I have my doubts on that. Yeah, this is gonna take a while to punch through. Of course, our Crewfix on top isn't the worst. Obviously, I'd prefer a Dragon or Elspeth, but we'll see how it goes. Um, yeah, so my Xenagos is gonna get downfalled, which really surprises me here, because it means I get a free attack. If he left his Carotids untapped, then this attack wouldn't exist. So, yeah, definitely a misplay by my opponent. Okay, so he kills a Satyr. I reckon he has an Elspeth in hand. This play is like conducted with an Elspeth. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have Thoughtseize Elspeth. That would be awkward. Because I can't beat that right now. I don't have Lightning Strike in the deck to punish that. Ah, Fleecemane. Okay. Um. Yes, my opponent leaving up the mana to Monstrous the Fleecemane line. I may as well play the Courser here and get some extra, get an extra life point. It's not likely to matter, but all the small edges. Let's see. So, gonna gain some life. We're gonna scry the plains to the bottom, netting us a Xenagos. Okay. I have a few options. I can't really attack into his Fleecemane. Like, Banishing Light doesn't do anything either, so I'm just gonna have to let him monstrous his Fleecemane. There's really nothing else I can do. Like, I can't get around that, so uh I could attack, but it just lets my opponent swing back in case he goes for Elspeth, so there's really no point. The threat of activation is enough. So yeah, my opponent's definitely on Chapin's list. Two cards, hopefully not Elspeth. I don't think so. Like, unless he top decks Elspeth, I don't think he has it. He might have, like, Silence the Believers. Did he... Did he have it or draw it? Silence the This looks like a massive Silence the Believers. Okay, yeah, he gets rid of my two coursers just to make sure I don't generate any more of an advantage from them. And now we're in a stare down, but I do have a Xenagos on top, so not too bad. There is an argument for not playing the Courser, I guess, just in case he has Silence the Believers, which may have been correct, and I didn't think of that. Because if I go put Satyr into play, because if I had decided to not do that, I guess, then he couldn't silence both away, and I know the top card. If the top card was a land, then I would be avoiding this problem. Okay, so Brimaz is in play, but it's not very relevant at the moment because we both have a Fleece main. That looks big. Oh! See, Fleece main's not relevant. Brimaz is not relevant. Elspeth, very much so, but thankfully I have a Banishing Light for that, so it's just going to take a long time to get through this. He could take... It is true that he could take the second Banishing Light with a top deck Thoughtseize, but I'm okay with taking that risk on for the surprise value. Yeah, I think playing the second Courser may have been incorrect. So yes, we're both in lockdown mode, but I have Xenagos, so my lockdown mode's better. Let's see, I put a Satyr into play. I could do with an Elspeth, not gonna lie. Yeah. Dragon would be good too. He doesn't have Hero's Downfall, I know that much. He would have played Hero's Downfall. Okay, so we're gonna put a Satyr into play. And an Elspeth. I may as well play the Forest. There's no drawback to doing so. Maybe gaining a life off a Courser, that's about it. I feel in control of this game. It's for sure. I don't want to use the Banishing Light up on a Brimaz if I can avoid it, just because it's pretty irrelevant right now. Let me think here. He has 7 block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 blockers to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attackers. So I need 9 attackers, sorry. With Storm Breath Dragon, this becomes basically a non-issue. Because I can play Storm Breath and Monstrous Hit by using Xenagos' ability. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. My opponent might have Silence the Believers, which is the only thing. So I am tempted to keep the Storm Breath for a turn actually here. Just make a Satyr and smash in. I think that might be correct. Feels very strange, but I think it's correct. If he has the Silence the Believers, I definitely want to use that up now. He may not have one, but there's no rush and wait. There's no problems in waiting, so... yeah, so he's going to eat 2 tokens. I still have tons of Caryatids to deal with the problems coming up, so... So 2 tokens get munched on, 2 Satyr tokens. And then he just blocks the Satyr tokens with Caryatids and trades the soldiers. Going out to free. Okay, he doesn't have silence. He might have silence. I don't think he has Silence of Believers because he would have left the. Yes, my opponent does not have Silence of Believers. Or a Hero's Downfall. Um, the reason I know this is my opponent would have used it that turn. So, yeah. So if I played the dragon, I would have won. But hey, I'm okay here. I'm under no pressure whatsoever. It's not as if my opponent can do much. Like, my opponent has 4 blockers to all this, so. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 attackers. 9 attackers and 4 blockers. Even with silence for like 3, my opponent's dead. So just make a creature. Unless my opponent has Bioblight. But Silence of Believers is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because if they take my dragon and 2 more card and there's 2 satyrs, then my opponent like trading there's 4 satyrs. So assuming that 2 go, 2 get blocked, Fleecemane gets blocked and a soldier gets blocked, my opponent still dies. So I'll just play the dragon here. My opponent, like, I mean, I'm not revealing too much information on my deck here. My opponent should know I'm playing more than 1 Stormbreath Dragon, so yes. I don't think there's an opponent card my opponent can have here. I think he's just waiting for time, which is not a bad strategy to be fair. One I hate, but I'm not blaming him. Very different playing for time on Magic Online. Yeah, that's it. 20 damage in 1 hit. Yeah, I probably should have just attacked. My opponent didn't have anything. Okay. So he's playing Junk, which means Destructive Revel. Chapin's deck, which means Destructive Revelry is definitely not up to par. Glares of Heresy are. Dictate is. Porphyros is actually okay, because he has no ways to interact with it. And it deals him damage. I like cutting 1 Brimaz usually post board, since I'm okay with it main deck, but post board I'd like to cut 1. Pelucranos is one of those threats that just dies to Hero's Downfall, and yeah, I don't like Arbor Colossus or Pelucranos in the junk matchups, because you're not killing anything with it, really. And it just dies very easily. It's good against me, to be fair, but not good for... Xenagos the Reveler actually tends to be a little on the weak side. Although there is no effective way to really pressure him. I like cutting 1 Carotid and 1 Xenagos. I'm not sure about the Porphyros, actually. It might not be the right matchup to put it in, but I wanted to try it. This is an obvious keep. I'm pretty sure I'm starting with Temple of Plenty here. Forest goes on the bottom. I have a few options here. I can go Fleecemane, but then he goes free Fati, so I'm just gonna see what I get. The Chapin deck doesn't have how many banishing lights does Chapin decks have? I thought they only had the 1 main. Okay, so my opponent takes Brimaz, which is interesting. I'm likely to play Fleecemane here to put pressure on, but I suspect my opponent has Brimaz, so making that a little weaker than it normally would for me. I still have to play Fleecemane since I don't have a 4-drop or a Courser, so it makes sense. You know, I might get punished and draw a 4-drop or a Courser, but... Actually, 4-drop doesn't punish me, sorry. I might... Like, it's Corsair Brimaz that would make that play bad, but I don't know. Chapin's list only plays one Banishing Light main. I don't know what he's bringing in. Yeah, that looks like a Bile Blight if he has it. If he has it, of course. We're going to play Caryatid and then play a Temple of Abandon. Glare Heresy's tough because Glare Heresy is an actual spell, even if my opponent has nothing for it yet. I gotta put it on top for now. It might be wrong because it's not a threat. My opponent should definitely remove the Fleeceman line. Okay, so Dictative Heliod's gone. It's kind of the problem with the Thoughtseize deck for me. Yeah, this should die now. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, Glare is not a threat, which was my only kind of concern. But putting spells on the bottom is usually a bad idea. Yes, he won't bring in light. Arbor Colossus. As I said, Arbor Colossus, I saw good for me to play it, but it's very good for my opponents. This is awkward. Ah, Fleeceman on top is good. So my opponent can play Elspeth next turn, and can't ultimate Arbor Colossus this turn. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have... I'm just going to have to fret an activation here. Yes. I can't even block. I just have to take it. Well, I'm definitely activating Fleeceman now. I do have the Glare, but I'm not going to be on much life against all these soldiers, so that's not good. I'm probably behind in this particular match. I need something like an Elspeth, hopefully. No, that's definitely not Elspeth. It's nowhere close. That, on the other hand, is. So I'm going to have to play Glare Heresy. That Elspeth. And just hope he doesn't have something else. Because I'm taking 2 here. Of course, they're Crufix with Brimaz on top. The Elspeth tokens are definitely going to help, though. So it's not too bad. And he only has 1 card in hand, so we'll see what happens. Block like this. Obvious blocks. Yeah. Oh, wow. More frets? Oh, he has a Brimaz right away. Okay, so he doesn't have removal for my Elspeth, which is very important. Banishing Light is going to be on top. And we're going to play an Elspeth. I think Elspeth allows me to survive. But I mean, I have to just play it out anyways. It's pretty. I'm pretty much in Odo mode, so. My opponent has like 7 attackers, and I'm at 3, so I survive. I may not do the blocks I like, but I'll survive, which is important. Mana Confluence is dead now. So I survive this attack. If he doesn't attack with Corsair, for sure I survive, and I'm eating something. I know he has Brimaz. Yeah, Corsair should attack here. Okay, so I have 7 blockers. Meaning I should just live through this turn. So, We're going to put a soldier in front of this. We're going to eat the Corsair Crewfix. We're going to block one of these soldiers. We're going to block the Brimaz. We're going to block the Cat Soldier. So killing the Corsair Crewfix here is important just because then he doesn't draw spells from it. Then I can Banishing Light away. The Arbor Colossus, allowing me to survive. And put my opponent in a bind. Since now he has one attacker less than he needs. Especially with Fleecemane on top, I know I'm okay. And all of a sudden, I've managed to just get control of this game. So, yeah, every life point matters. Every single life point. Yep, Fleecemane Lion. No attacks, I suspect. If there's an attack, I'm okay with it. He probably has to attack just to kill some soldiers, actually. Yep. Let's see. I'm definitely blocking everything. That part's obvious. I know my opponent has a Brimaz in hand, so killing Brimaz has less value than usual. Let's see what I can do here. Let me think this one through. Killing the Brimaz has little value, except Fleecemane then cannot become monstrous, which means I can Banishing Light it, which does have value itself. So if I block like this, Brimaz dies, and then I have Banishing Light for either Brimaz or Fleecemane that follows. So let me double check. I did block everything, except it'd be silly to lose the game here. You can change Chapin's list to have reach. I wouldn't worry too much. Like, this list has some reach because it has Dragon. That's about it. And it's more an angle of attack against Chapin's list rather than a problem, I gotta be honest. Forest is a bit awkward, so... Didn't I have a Banishing Light on top? Oh, yeah, sorry, I took Arbor Colossus. It's fine, it's fine. Still makes sense to make that block, I think. I would have killed the soldier. No, yeah, it makes sense to make that block. It's free. So yeah, can't attack. Still had one life, but surviving. If he doesn't have Elspeth, hopefully. Of course, our Crewfix is kind of awkward. Silence of Believers is more than kind of awkward. My opponent definitely has to attack. Like, if he doesn't attack, does he just die? Why did my opponent not attack? We're just gonna double check. I think I've won this. Because he has no creatures with reach or flying. He's got no cards in hand. I can ultimate Elspeth to deal 3, 6, 9, 15 damage? I'm pretty sure I'll win this, right? Like, 1, 2, 3, 7 plus 8 is 15. And he's at 13. And he's got no flying blockers. This gives flying, right? Creatures you control +2/+2 and have flying. He has no flyers. Okay, I'm just double checking. Because that was very strange for my opponent not to attack. Okay. I think I still win, but he should at least attack to give himself a chance. Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm a bit surprised because it's on board. There's no mystery. It's not like it was, too hard to figure out. All he needed to do was go, well, an attack's not great, but I gotta go for it. Then he attacks. He loses, I guess he loses Brimaz over the soldier. Soldiers and free soldiers die. So, yeah, I can't emblem then. Then I go Courser Land off the top, go to 2 life, scry away the Carotid, and all of a sudden, like, I can't ultimate it, so I have 4 blockers to his Fleeceman and Courser, so he can, like, double silence the Believers, which the Courser, yeah, so I'm ahead, but he still loses straight away. I'm not saying he wouldn't have lost eventually, but might as well like go for the long shot that's free. But yeah, if this deck had beat on the Chapin's list yesterday, and if this deck beats Chapin's list, it's definitely goes up in my evaluation. Like it's a question: what's better in the matchup? More frets or more removal? Then again, I did draw free Banishing Lights in game one, so I'm wondering, and a Destructive Revelry. So yeah, maybe my perception on the whole thing is not quite right. The dragon wasn't necessary. Was it maybe the way I was playing the matchup? Because to be fair, Xenagos was actually quite okay. Maybe the extra planeswalkers matter because he only has 4 heroes downfalls, so you're overloading on. Like my aim is to overload on frets. Um, I'm not sure. I won against the list twice. I'm not sure why, which is more worrying because it's one thing to like win. It's another to understand a matchup. Right now, because I'm preparing for the Grand Prix, I'd like to understand the matchup. Gotta be honest, I'm having trouble figuring it out, piecing it together. I don't know if Perforos would be good against him. I suspect yes, because you're both in kind of this random stalemate, and Perforos creates like a very awkward situation where, even pumping your creatures is good. Okay, so Xenagos is actually probably quite good against him. Dictative Heliod got taken there. It could have been a Johnny. I think both those cards would have been good in that situation. Yeah. If he hasn't fought sees the dictate, then me making like having carrots as our 2/5s is pretty awkward for him. Yeah, Xenagos seems to be quite good. Hmm. I was wondering about the 4th Xenagos in the sideboard. Like probably bringing it in against Buck Control. The sideboard is easily changeable. Like I don't like Polukranos in the sideboard actually. Like I'd rather have Polukranos main deck most of the time. Uh, I could cut a Brimaz for an extra Polukranos. That's one option, but it's very rare that the legendary side of Brimaz is actually a problem. Like Brimaz is an incredibly powerful card. It just matches up poorly in block because the key toughnesses are 2 and 4. There's almost no free freeze. If like the format had like a ton of free freeze, then Brimaz would become amazing. Not the case though. Yeah, there's not a lot of raw card advantage in this format, is there? It's all about one for ones mostly. Like anything that's a two for one feels so good. Like even Corsair Crewfix, like getting the land. I beat Chapin's deck yesterday. I just would like to know why. Like it didn't feel like the fact that I was playing Naya helped. Like I could have been playing Chapin's list in the mirror, and the dragon didn't really help in game one. The Xenagos did. The Xenagos was actually relevant in game one, but in game two, um, it felt like um, it felt. I mean, game two, like it wasn't the red cards that mattered. It was the yeah, the Elspeth. Elspeth mattered more than anything else. So at that point, if Elspeth matters more in the mirror than anything else, then Fozzie's probably matters more because it gives you extra ways to get rid of Elspeth. I got lucky in game one. I had two banishing lights for two Elspeths, but like in reality, is that like a realistic proposition? To have that, like Chapin's list has probably more removal with Fozzie's as well. So maybe I got lucky in those games, and Chapin's list is actually better um, than this one. That's the kind of thing that's tough to determine. Is Chapin's list just straight up better? Um, while we're waiting, I'll play in the tournament room, just because the 8 man is not likely to start for a while. So let's just have a tournament practice. I'm definitely not balling in the hand that can go Fleece Mane Brimaz like 2 and 3. I don't want Temple of Plenty. I'd want an untapped land if I'm gonna take a fourth land. Now, if that was an untapped land, I would have taken it. Just because I could have gotten Xenagos then right after. Uh, this list. Let's see what happens with it when you go Fleece Mane turn 2, Grimace turn 3. Yeah, sure, the frets are better in Naya. You're playing more frets. Aperkin. This may be this. I don't know. I guess we're racing. It'd be really awkward if I don't draw a fourth land. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but I was right to put Temple of Plenty on the bottom, I think. So my opponent's playing keeping Counterspell and Hour of Need up. I still have to attack, which is horrible, but... Oh, let's hope he Hours of Need the Hypnotic Siren. That'd be nice. I still have to attack, even if he's gonna like 2 for 1 me with Hour of Need. Yeah, he's got Hour of Need. And thankfully, we've got this Destructive Revelry. I'm looking forward to our post-board games where I get to board in some extra stuff too. Yeah, it's the blue aggro deck that doesn't play Master of Waves. This one. Uh, Yeah, Naya has actually been performing quite well for me, so yeah. Let's see. I don't like this blue aggro deck. Like, post-board it just folds to everything. Maybe pre-board it's not horrible. Voyage isn't. Wow. Maybe pre-board it is not the absolute nut low, but post-board it's just terrible. He can't win against anything. Wow, he has to go double Voyage's end? Like, Temple of Abandon. Um, Definitely not getting Xenagos since I'm never actually playing it. And since he's tapped out, I may as well play Brimaz. I could also like Banishing Light his Vaporkin, but I think playing Brimaz here is fine. I'd rather put pressure than acknowledge his fret. Or rather his non-fret. Yeah. This deck's terrible, by the way, the mono blue deck. Like, okay, maybe pre-board. You'll surprise your opponent. They may not have the anti-aggro card and lose. Post-board, this deck just folds to, like, everything. Okay, so he plays Bident, which I'll Banishing Light to avoid him drawing into more stuff. I could also take away the Vaporkin, to be honest. Or, let's see. Let's see what I could do here. I can play Xenagos and just deal damage. That's not the worst either. Because then he has to block, and yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's fine to have Xenagos and put a stream of stuff in play. Can't see how this is going to end badly for me. Yep. My opponent's at free and is going to have free cards with Bident. Yep. A whole lot of nothing. Let's put in 4 lightning strikes. That's a good start. I saw Bident, and there's Hypnotic Siren. Is there anything else for Destructive Revelry? We're putting in Pelucranos and Arbor Colossus. I'll take out 1 Elspeth. Dictate is a completely irrelevant card. Carrot is actually okay. Xenagos is pretty weak. Actually, all the Planeswalkers are bad here. Xenagos actually makes a 2-2, which is a relevant threat. But I guess that deck play destroys them quite easily. I can play like 1 Destructive Revelry, maybe 2. Although I want to keep the Carroted, so... Because I saw Bident, I want to keep Destructive Revelry, because I know he has Temple of Triumph. I'll board out 1 Carroted, because it doesn't block his threats. I mean, it can. Yeah, board out 1 Elspeth seems okay, since it's an expensive card. But yeah, public service announcement. Do not play Mono Blue at the Grand Prix. Please. Please don't. It's not worth it. Especially whether you miss your 1-drop. I gotta put Fleeceman on the bottom because I'm actually looking for lands here to like get my Pelucranos and Arbor Colossus. Like I don't need more frets, I just need more mana. So here I'm gonna play Sylvan Carroted. Because it does a double job of blocker duty plus making me mana. I don't think there's anything that like pumps it at instant speed anyway, so not that I know. I don't think there's anything at 1 I should be worried about. Unless he has Voyages and it's still worth it for the Courser. Like even if he has Voyages End, it's not the end of the world. He has Voyages End. He's taking his time on this. He has Voyages End. Yeah, like you have Voyages End. Just play it. Yeah, thank you. Like it's not difficult to guess. I still think, yeah, it's correct to play Courser just to get a line off top in most situations. He may have a counter spell, but I still have to just go for it. Worst case scenario, I always have Fleece Main Lion. I could have also gone for Perforos there, actually, which may have been the better choice. Polukranos, rather, sorry. That deck does play Stymied Hopes, but I might as well get the Stymied Hopes out of his hand. So he doesn't have Hour of Need, because that was a little too perfect to not play it. To be fair, he might actually have it. Yeah. Prognostic Sphinx. That deck plays Prognostic. That deck can afford Prognostic Sphinx. That's new on me. Yeah. Temple. Brimaz is actually quite good against an army of 2/1s. So I'm happy to keep it on top. And then play Arbor Colossus. Which means he can't really attack unless he has something. I'm hoping he doesn't have something, basically. Next turn I can play Polukranos and munch all the cheap creatures just in case. It doesn't have a ton of mana. Okay, he doesn't have a removal for this. That's good. Mana Confluence off the top. I'm not playing Corsa this turn, so that's why. He might have a counter spell. He knows about, but 4, 5, 6. Even if he knows about Brimaz, I still have to go for Polukranos first because that counter spell might be Stymied Hopes. So I might as well just play this out first. Okay, he doesn't have a counter. Now I'm curious as to whether I should be playing the Brimaz at all because having this open means I can munch on something. I'm okay with Polukranos being in play for 1. I can always munch on something if he has an Hour of Need that surprises me. Like I'm literally going to be playing Banishing Light just to take cards 1 by like just get a small incremental advantage. Also, Polukranos can actually attack, which is a big plus. If he blocks the Polukranos, I think he's going to have Hour of Need. Still think it's correct to attack with Pelucranos. I can't, like, just stay back. There is an interesting play with Pelucranos, where I can try and Monstrous it twice, if he responds incorrectly to it, which we'll see. Yeah. It is actually interesting. You can Monstrous Pelucranos twice if he responds to it incorrectly. Like, if he responds to the Monstrous ability and, like, does something, you can go, okay, I'll respond to my own Monstrous ability and do something here. Hall of Triumph. Okay, that's my reaction time. I have to munch stuff. Like, if he has Hour of Need, he doesn't have the mana to do it more than once, so... Yeah, Hall of Triumph. I'm surprised he didn't use Nick Foss here. I mean, even if he bounces it, I replay it, the Pelucranos, so it's not exactly... That's a perfect candidate for Banishing Light, by the way. Although, here's the thing. I'm going to play Banishing Light targeting the Prognostic Sphinx and then attack for Lethal. I should play the Force off the top, though. Yeah, the Mono Blue deck is just not good. I can't, like, unrecommend it enough. Just... People were playing Blue Devotion out of the Pro Tour doing terribly, and now all of a sudden people want to play Mono Blue. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, the deck was played at the Pro Tour, did terribly there, did way worse than any aggro deck, was never featured. But all of a sudden it's this great revelation. It's not a revelation, it's always been terrible. It's still terrible. Don't play it. Bottom line. So we're 7 players in the 8-man, so we're probably going to start the 8-man at the same time as the next round of the daily. It's always fun. Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, I don't disagree with that statement. I gotta be honest. You read like Travis Wu's articles, and yeah, you want to play. You're like, oh man, this is exciting. He writes in a way that incites you to do it. But yeah, I don't know. He'll probably play the deck at Manchester, and it's not gonna do well. I'm sorry. Speaking of things that aren't gonna do well, like this hand, why can't you be a mana confluence or plains or another temple? Any other non-forest land in my whole deck would have suited. Like any. Oh well, I'll mulligan, whatever. I think I get more angry at like almost hands rather than the ones that are there. Uh, Hopefully I can draw an untap line for my Carotid. because I'm on the draw. Tempo Enlightenment's not played by many people, so we either have Bent or White-Blue aggro. Like, this temple is a pretty big telegraph. Yeah, and get the untapped land right away. So perfect, no. With 4 mana, I'm okay shipping Mana Confluence, am I? Yeah, because I might double red. Wait, let me think this one through. If I go Sylvan Carotid, then next turn Courser. So that's 1, 2, 3. I think it's okay to ship the Mana Confluence. But maybe I should have kept it because of the Stormbreath Dragon. Yeah, I might have misplayed there. I should have maybe kept the Mana Confluence. Just to sequence into Stormbreath Dragon and Fleece. White-Blue aggro. Probably. What? Ho ho! Spicy spice! I like it! My opponent is playing a cool deck. Spicy spice. Uh-huh. I still go for the Corsair play. Like, the other problem with keeping Mana Confluence on top is the opportunity cost of, like, not drawing, say, a Banishing Light as early or something like that. Um, I did ship it to the bottom, so I feel like pretty good right now. Yeah, I go for the Carotid here over the Fleeceman because I think I want the Courser advantage, and the Mana Confluence allows me to go Dragon on the following turn, which is actually pretty good, even against an aggro deck. Yeah. Yeah, on the play, my draw would have been pretty insane. I wonder if he's playing Blue-White Heroic with Sage of Hours, or if he's playing with a Johnny. It's tough to tell. I mean, I'll see, but... Ordeal? Okay. Well, I guess you're going to gain 10 life and get an extra turn as well. I'm not so worried, actually, about the extra turn, because the thing is, you build it up to be like a 6/6 or something, and then I guess it's actually okay, like, as resilience. Like, you build it up to be that's an annoying draw. You build it up to be like a 6/6, and then if your opponent has a way to deal with it, then you get an extra turn. So it's not that bad, actually. Ugh. Ship Carotid have another one. A little on the slow side as hands go, but I'm okay because I have Temples to Scry. Yeah. The irony, of course, in this match, by the way, is that if he played something like a Favored Hoplite, like the more traditional versions, the Stormbreath Dragon would have been pretty good. Stormbreath Dragon still has an opportunity to be very good. And this is kind of what, yeah, I'm glad I'm playing against aggro because I wasn't sure how the matchup against aggro was, and it doesn't look very good. Like in theory, so. Okay, so I've got aggro on two fronts. Probably keep a land. I have two Banishing Lights, so that's fine to keep. Let's see. Mountain on top is very good, since there's no hesitation. He does have only one card in hand, so if I can deal with the Sage of Hours, I should actually be okay. Okay, he plays Hero of Iroas, which is definitely going to be my target for Banishing Light. Chapin's list is way better against aggro than this deck is going to be, for sure. So right now, I'm looking at playing Caryatid and Fleecemane, and ultimating Fleecemane to stop this ad nauseam. Unless he has Aqueous Form. Which Aqueous Form, I would be in trouble. And in this match, I'm not worried. I'm not even gonna play Banishing Light. There's no point. Might as well keep Lightning Strike up. I don't need the Mountain. I think like Xenagos does the job pretty well. Although going Dragon one turn earlier against a white weenie deck is pretty good. I'll put the Mountain on Library, which is a bit unusual, but it feels right. Oh, blockers. Oh yeah, he attacked with a 4/4. Makes sense. Like even it's not even the problem is I'm not probably not trading for the Sage of Hours, so that's why I'm not blocking. Xenagos on top is very good because it gives me infinite blockers. And eventually I'm gonna start willing his life total down, but for now the Storm Breath Dragon's doing that job well. Keep Xenagos on top. Yep. Play Caryatid number 2. Yep, my opponent's attacking me with an army of 1/2s. Oh, and a Fabled Hero. Thank goodness for Storm Breath, but yeah. Storm Breath against the White Weenie deck. Yeah, so he's 7/7. Meaning I'm definitely blocking him. I have a few options, but I'm pretty sure going Xenagos Make a Guy is the right one. Banishing Light on top. So next turn I got to go double Banishing Light, which is quite nice. Wait, Xenagos. Do I want to play Xenagos here, or can I play Banishing Light? Actually, Banishing Light might be better. I can play Xenagos next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can play Xenagos and Banishing Light next turn. I'll get rid of the Fabled Hero here since the Eidolon is nowhere near as scary. Plays a Farrier Vert Hoplite, that's fine. He's attacking with his 4/4. At this point, I'm tempted to offer a trade with my Fleecemane and Courser. Or I could just block with Caryatid here. Like, if I use up his trick, it's not going to be usable in the future, and he only kills a Courser, so... That's acceptable, actually. Like, he has to use up his trick. It'll kill something, but it won't kill both. Okay, Hopeful Eidolon on Favored Hoplite prevents damage. I guess he has a Johnny's Presence or something like that. Yeah, probably. Yeah, just do that. He's probably got like a God's Willing, sure, whatever. Yeah, he's just trying to make things happen and get fruit for damage, but unfortunately for him, Banishing Light and Xenagos are very persuasive. Let's get rid of the Hoplite. Still gives him like an extra creature, which is the only problem. But that way, yeah, that might have been wrong actually. Let's put a Satyr in pass. I've won that game. So in this game, he played God's Willing. God's Willing. I'm more than happy to get rid of God's Willing. Getting rid of God's Willing there is perfectly fine. Because that thing was going to be a problem, so. It's fine. The Courser or the Fleecemane dies. Probably the Courser. You're the Fleecemane, great. I have another one. Wow. Trade a Fleecemane for God's Willing? Not normally a trade, by the way, I'd be happy about, but in this circumstance, for sure. Just to depress him a bit. Let's see. I can play Fleecemane. Then I can play Xenagos. And I can Monstrous the Fleecemane all in the same turn. Just fantastic. Back to our other game. He's playing White Weenie, so Destructive Revelries. Anything that's mid-range tends to be good against White Weenie. Obviously, Glare of Heresy is basically Vindicate for 2 mana against my opponent. Dictate of Heliod is not for this matchup, nor is it Johnny. Xenagos the Reveler is probably on the weaker side of things. Cut an Elspeth because it's expensive. Cut the Xenagos. Cut the Johnny, which is done. Cut a Caryatid, and then the rest is more tough. Stormbright Dragon seems good when it has protection from deck. Maybe cut a Brimaz. Ooh. I think I can cut the Caryatids more than anything else. They're not very good. Especially on more removal, they're not as needed. Sorry, so back to our feature match. White. Monstrous it. Maybe I should have made a Satyr there, by the way. Do I want to mulligan my... No. I'm actually got the 1 Caryatid left in my deck. That's quite funny. I definitely don't want to get mulligan what this is, which is Perfection. So I could attack with Dragon, but I think that's incorrect. Might as well stay back for now. My opponent can take an extra turn, but then his 1 threat is invalidated, so... I am in a precarious position, because Aqueous Form can, like, change that match around in a nanosecond, so... At some point, I am going to have to do something. Fabled Hero is completely fine. Like, I am going to have to, like, go for a removal for a Banishing Light. Temple of Plenty... do I want a Temple of Abandon? Seems like a good follow-up to Courser if I need it. I just want to guarantee my mana at this point since my hand is so strong. Oh, my opponent was on blue-white. Okay. Makes sense. However, he's mono... Like, I think it was on blue-white because he had some cards in hand he couldn't play last game. I suspect. So, Caryatid. I'm okay with Flavored Hoplite. We have Glare of Heresy for later, so... Forest off the top. Oh, Polukranos. There we go. That's a good way to munch everything my opponent has. Um, Especially with Xenagos creating like a million mana. Rough estimate. So play the Fleece Mane, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 mana. So I can't quite monstrous the Fleece Mane and the Storm Breath. So I'm just gonna make a Satyr, I think. Just make one more creature. Do I want to make a creature or add mana? If I add mana, adding mana is not too bad actually. And monstrous is my dragon, and it threatens ultimate in a bit. Yeah, making a Satyr might have been better. Sorry. I'm just thinking through things. I'm just because if I make a Satyr, then I'm just doing actions because I lose more likely to time than my actual actions. Um. Let's see. Pass. Aqueous form. Okay. I don't even need to like deal with this right away. I can wait a turn. It's not the end of the world. If he has Ordeal, then it's awkward, but yeah, I'm okay with this for now. Aqueous form, huh? Okay. I might need to monstrous this Perlucranos to be humongous, so... But that's what I was talking about, was that aqueous form. Was that this is gonna this is a problem. He might kill Xenagos, actually, which is what I would recommend. I was kind of hoping he didn't draw the aqueous form right away. Yeah, he's gonna kill Xenagos. So I'm gonna have to create opportunities to win this game. I'm gonna have to be careful because of the extra turn ability. So play. It's kind of awkward to like draw into basic, but yeah. Play Courser, land. I'm okay. I'll ship Courser on the bottom because I want something a little more relevant than that. If I get a land on top, so be it. Destructive Revelry is definitely not a land. How are we doing here? So Xenagos is about to die. He's put a card on top. Next turn I've got Polukranos coming up. I'm going to have to start attacking. I probably should have attacked last turn, actually. I shouldn't have waited until that came. Yeah, so I have Polukranos. Because he has no tricks, I can just munch a bunch of guys, which is not too bad. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How much mana do I have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So I can monstrous for 2. Or I could wait a turn, which seems a little better, I gotta be honest. Oh, he's taking the extra turn. Wow. Okay, what does he have? Okay, so he went Stratus Walk on his favorite Hoplite, which isn't too bad because, I mean, it just draws a card, +1/+1. It's not too bad for me. Actually, now that I think about it, that's kind of awkward because Glare of Heresy is a lot worse all of a sudden. Um, I could just play the dragon here and attack. That doesn't actually seem too bad. Is that the Furrow Cursor? Jeez. Yeah, I'm just going to play dragon here and bash because his clock is slower than mine, so I want him to tap out. Um, his clock's slower than mine with Storm Breath Dragon, so I want him to like tap out and take a few more risks so I can go with Revelry and Glare. Okay, so he has his extra turn. He's gonna attack with Aqueous Form. I'm really surprised because now, like, I couldn't deal with that 6/6, but now that he's ultimated it, I definitely can. Especially if he plays that card he drew, which I don't think he will, but yeah, he goes Eidolon on Countless Battles, which makes it an 8/9. So he probably has God's Willing. Let's see. I can try and remove it, the favorite Hoplite, but I think that's gonna meet in abject failure. Hmm. Let's see here. He probably has it, but I still have to do it. Yeah, I just have to do it. It's correct. I mean, if he doesn't have it, then I'm in an incredibly good position. Like, he could have God's Willing, he could have a Johnny's Presence, he has God's Willing. He is going to give his guy protection from white. Which is actually fairly interesting, because it means the Eidolon is going to fall off um, as a 4/4, okay. Means my dragon doesn't have to attack. I don't actually... It's a 5/6. I can definitely block it. So I'm going to play the Temple of Plenty off the top. Probably keeping that Lightning Strike, if I'm honest. And I don't have to attack here, do I? No. I don't have to, but soon enough, I'll have enough pressure. Yeah, I have no blockers for that. He puts the card on the bottom. I'm going to focus more on this match, by the way, because of the time. Well, this match is going... The other match is going underway. So I have Polukranos, and he has one card in hand, which I suspect is going to be some kind of ultra removal. So we're going to... First off, we're going to play Polukranos. That may seem weird, but it's definitely correct. Because I want to see what he potentially has. Yeah, attack with Storm Breath Dragon for 7. Like, it's a slow clock, but I'll get there eventually. In the other match, he goes Aqueous Form version 2. Which is starting to... Okay, wait. If he goes Aqueous Form number 2, can I actually win? Let me think this one through. I'm at 10 life. I have a Lightning Strike on top. I can Monstrous the Dragon. So he's going to attack me down to 6. Yeah, scry 1 twice. He's at 14. If I kill that, he goes to 12. Yeah, no blocks. Yeah, I misplayed. I should have attacked with Corsair Crewfix the last turn. An extra creature is bad for me here. Probably. We're going to go for Destructive Revelry. And if I Monstrous the Dragon, he takes 1. Goes to 11, and then lives. So that's not good. Yeah, he's won this game. Okay, fair play, fair play. So he's on Blue-White Heroic in game 1. He was a bit mana screwed. Okay, that's fine. Oh, wow. This match is still in game 1. I really need to speed up. I think it's in game 1, right? Yeah. Gain a life. Sideboarding is fine. It's what it is. Keep Destructive Revelry on top because it allows me to deal with surprises. And now you despise a surprise, so... Yeah. Here I can Monstrous for 2. Once I untap, I can Monstrous for 5. 5 being quite a nice amount. Since I can kill the Fabled Hero and try to kill the Sage of Hours, and if it doesn't work, I still get the Aqueous Forms. It's not the end of the world. If he has a Johnny's Presence, he has a Johnny's Presence. But I definitely need to focus on this game. The other game is not going to go to time as closely. No blockers, whatever. Let's just move on with our lives. I'm definitely going to do a huge Polukranos Monstrous on my turn. Why on my turn? By the way, because I really hope he doesn't have 2 tricks. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If a Monstrous for X equals 4, that's not as good. I can wait on them. I can actually wait on the Monstrous. I don't need to do anything. I can just stay here, play the waiting game, If he attacks with his Sage of Hours, I can just Destructive Revelry it. So yeah, on bottom for the Caryatid. Attack with a Fleece Mane as well. Start putting the pressure on. Yep. Pushes him down to 12, which is quite good for me here. So I should be able to win this game quite quickly, but I am at 11 minutes on the clock for the other two, so that's not good. Hero of Iroas, it's fine. That taps him out, to be honest, if anything, so that's okay. The threat of activation here is really good. Yeah, let's see. God's Willing Unfabled Hero. Do I really want this to go through? So I'm just going to Monstrous Polukranos and really hope he doesn't have lethal that way. Is that going to be lethal? Let's see. I mean, if he goes Ordeal, it might be. I only have green creatures blocking, which is awkward. X is 4. Okay. And now I definitely want to hit this because he doesn't have much mana to get rid of the rest. If he has God's Willing, it's not the end of the world. Because then he has trouble next turn. If he has God's Willing at Johnny's Presence, it's not the end of the world either. 4. Just deal 4 to that thing. He must have 2 God's Willings. I can't see him doing that with just the 1. Or in a Johnny's Presence or something. Yes, I'd like to play first. No mulligans. He has a second God's Willing in Johnny's Presence, right? Yeah, okay, he has God's Willing. I still have to do this anyways. So he's going to attack through for a total of 8 damage, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. I still have my Destructive Revelry for any auras coming through. And Polukranos can definitely munch on something when it attacks. So, yep. He's just trying to create an opportunity, so that's good. Temple of Plenty, Storm Breath. It's really awkward. I don't have the mana for it right now. Probably should have kept the Storm Breath, to be honest, but yeah. I can't block, so yeah. He's gone through. I don't disagree, but he's only got 1 God's Willing left in the deck that can actually do something here. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack with Storm Breath Dragon and munch on something with Polukranos. Polukranos is gonna eat something for breakfast here. A little surprising that that's the thing it eats for breakfast, but whatever. The next turn I kill him, assuming he doesn't have the 4th God's Willing. That's like the only way I can lose is if he has the 4th God's Willing. No, I'm pretty sure there's no other card in the deck apart from like literally going Stratus Walk or something like that. Oh, you're joking! My God! Oh, 4! You got all 4? Really? Really? Oh, like I can't. I mean, I could have played around the 4th one, but it was starting to get to the point where I'm like, he has a 1-outer. He has a like 1-outer. Shouldn't I like? Ugh. Whatever. 1 friggin' outer. He top decked it, by the way. It wasn't like it was in his hand. It was planned or something. Like, oh man. I'm playing Fleece Mane just because I want something on the table. And I have a Banishing Light if things go really, really bad. Oh, that was disgusting. That was this disgusting top deck. Oh man. Lightning Strikes, not Arbor Colossus. That was one of the most disgusting top decks I've seen in a long time. A one outer. Literal one outer. I mean, you could go like Stratus Walk and something else, and that's about it. Why am I taking out a Brimaz? Brimaz is pretty good against him. Carotids needed to come out. That was a disgusting way to go. I'm okay with this hand. Why would I ever swing with a pro white dude? Because he's dead next turn. And he literally has one out in the whole deck. In the whole deck of 40 free cards, he has one out. Maybe with the scry about maybe 37 cards. One out. One. One singular out. That's why I didn't swing with a pro white dude. That's why I was swung with a pro white dude. Because it kills him 2 turns. I could swing with like Prolukranos and like a Fleece Mane maybe. You're right. Like, do I play around the one outer? That's kind of awkward because, yeah, maybe I should have lightning striked it before it was too late. You always hear a heroic guy and you think, it's fine, I have time, and then, oops. Yep, Bat Temple of Triumph. Ordeal of Fasa, yeah. Yeah, he used 3. He used all 3 God's Willings. All 3. He had 1 left. I don't say, if he had like used none, sure, no problem. Yeah, so he drew a bunch of cards. He's dealt a ton of damage. This game is gonna be tough. I'm not gonna lie. Not that much life. He's got a ton, but I've got 3 lightning strikes hopefully to get there. Yeah. Yep. Favorite hoplite. Oh, I forgot. I should have played the land there. Still have to attack. Like, what else? How else am I gonna win this game? So, Voyage's End. Yeah, that's completely fine. Why would Voyage's End there? I don't understand the Voyage's End there. Really don't. There's no need. I could play Banishing Light on the Battlewise Hoplite. I don't really want to right now. Elspeth is pretty good right now. Kind of want to keep the mana open. Goes for Stratus Walk. Do I want to go for a Lightning Strike now? If he has protection, then I can never kill it. Maybe that was wrong. I can kill it with 2 Lightning Strikes, actually. Sorry. If he can't go for Ordeal, though, so that's fine. He's going to go Ordeal here. Hero Ordeal. Oh, wow, he went for the Ordeal in this game, so... Oh, wait, prevent all damage that would be dealt to it this turn. Yeah, I mean... It's kind of awkward, but... Yeah, this is just awkward. No blockers, and I'm going to have to kill that thing now. Before he untaps. I played around God's Willing because I felt he had it, but now I'm in trouble because he has a lot of cards, a lot of life, and I don't have that much mana because of the mana confluences. Stratus Walk. Yep, that's one of the more annoying ones. No, this matchup doesn't feel very good. I don't think White Blue Heroic is very good in general, but it's pretty good against this deck. That's a 4/5. Wow. I don't know how Countless Battle always shocks me as to how good it is. Elspeth is pretty okay, but yeah, I'm gonna have to pass the turn and just hope for the best. The best being don't have God's Willing. Hubris. I guess I have to protect it. Going to 1. Oh, that's really this is really awkward going to 1, but I think I have to do it. So now I'm like triple Stone Rain in this match until I get a Courser. No blockers. A little surprised he went for it there when I have 2 mana up, by the way. Guess he goes for Hubris again. Oh, Hubris is counter, but he has yeah, he just has a second guy, so. Oh, he's down to 1 card here. Okay. Okay, maybe he didn't have the God's Willing. Maybe it was correct to do it. Maybe I was probably wrong there. Actually, here I'm going to attack with a Fleece Mane just because I'm not blocking his Hero of Iroha, so I might as well just attack. Temple of Triumph first for the extra info. Fleece Mane Lion on top, I like it because it puts more pressure. I'm actually going to Banishing Light the hero here. Just because I have Elspeth, I can minus and kill this if it gets too big. So if he banks on like that thing getting huge or like ordealing or something, I can at least Elspeth next turn, so it's not too bad. So here I got triple Stone Rained, so I'm just gonna have to pass the turn though, which is unfortunate. Like if I get a course, I'm okay, but yeah. Fabled Hero, obviously with mana up. Let's see. Let's see what I can do. Banishing Light would remove this. Upkeep. Okay, Banishing Light would remove something, but yeah. No attackers, just pass the turn, unfortunately. What do I want to do here? God's Willing is just going to be problematic if I don't deal with it right away. So I could go for I could Monstrous the Fleece Mane, which isn't too bad. If he has something for this, how much damage is it going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have Elspeth to deal with this if it's not enchanted. So I think I'm just gonna play a Banishing Light here, mostly on the premise that I need to exhaust his God's Willings. And I'll attack because then it gives me a plan. Hubris, huh? Yeah, that will potentially win him the game. I can't play around any tricks anyway, so I might as well just let it happen, and yeah. Lightning strike that, hope for the best. Like, if he has a trick, he has a trick. I can't beat tricks right now. Yeah, like, sure. Ooh, Brimaz is a good one. Brimaz allows me to actually attack at some point in the distant future. He blocked. I'm okay with a trade here. More than okay, actually. I'll play the Banishing Light just so he pumps his guy and I can kill it with Elspeth. Oh, yeah. Obviously. Oh, okay, he didn't have anything. That's fine too. I'm going to focus on this match since maybe I have a shot of winning in the next game in 4 minutes. Ugh, can't believe I lost the first game. Ordeal of Fasa, huh? That's a lot of cards coming my way, his way. Can I kill that? No, he has a protection, prevent all damage thing again. Yep. Fabled Hero. Storm Breath Dragon, huh? Still can't cast it though. I maybe should have attacked there. Oh well. Oh wow, he's just out of frets. Um, Come on, can I attack? Thank you. Let's just play Elspeth. Death by 1,000 clicks. Pretty sure the aggro matchup is very tough. At the beginning of combat, sure. I'm just gonna have the threat of activation of Fleecemane, that'll be enough. I don't need to do it right away, so there we go. That's good, because it allows me to cast spells in the near future. Nope, no attacks. Favorite Hoplite. That thing is going to get large very fast, I suspect. But he needs more than that. Stratus Walk, okay. Yeah, probably had a ton of those. Let's focus on this game if I can. Yep. It's fine. I'll just like monstrous it now. Yeah, he can't win like unless he has a trick. So it's kind of my aim is unless he has a trick, he can't win. So I'm gonna just go for that, just attack and yeah. And in the other match, I'm probably not winning, so. Glare of Heresy is pretty good. But I think I prefer the dragon right now. I'm going to have to attack with the dragon because if I don't, I'm never going to win this game, so might as well attack with dragon. Corsair Crufix. I don't really care about Corsair right now. I just care about attacking for lethal. And having 3 minutes on the clock for next game. Hubris. Oh well, I lost that game. Fair play. Huh? Oh. Yeah, so I lost the 8-man and I won the match. Okay, cool. The game in the other. F8. What does F8 do again? Can you remind me? Somebody mentioned F8 in the past. I just can never remember what it does. Hence the why I don't use it. Is it if I'm tapped out, it just passes priority like infinitely, right? Probably should have used F8 in the past. Oh well. Yeah. By the way, in the other match, I don't regret attacking with Dragon. I have to do something. Like, you could easily draw God's Willing, I guess, and then attacking with the Dragon is wrong. Maybe attacking wasn't right at all. Oh well. Like, just wait until I get Elspeth, and then attack with something that's not Dragon. Yeah, probably. Yeah, this match I don't regret actually not playing against God's Willing. It happens, it happens. I won't mulligan this hand. It's fine. It's got 2 Brimaz, a bit awkward, but we'll live. I'll live with 2 Brimaz. Really hope he doesn't go Ordeal turn 2. That's pretty good, yeah. He doesn't go Ordeal turn 2. I have time to do something. Not gonna make the mistake this time. Probably Lightning Strike that thing right away. If my opponent allows me to play. Oh, I lost the match in the daily. Oh, okay. Oh, so my 8-man match is still going. Okay. Sorry, I confused the two. They were both the same deck, so I lost track. But yeah, I still don't regret that God's Willing play. Like, he can go like Stratus Walk and draw something else, I guess. That's the other option. But when he plays Stratus Walk, like, I can Destructive Revelry it right away. Anyways, I'll start with Temple of Abandon, since I might want to Lightning Strike something first. Yep. Bottom. Wow, yeah, F8 saves a lot of time. Thanks for that. Man, I might have won some matches if I knew that beforehand. Yeah, he has Ordeal. So unfortunately, now I want to play Fleece Mane. I really, yeah, it was correct to like hope he didn't have Ordeal, I think. Not that it matters much, so. Mana Confluence, yes, that's fine. I'm going to have to deal with this 4-5 somehow. I don't think Brimaz is really going to cut it. Elspeth might, but it's a bit slow. Elspeth's like the only thing that can really like deal with this in time, I think. So with Mana Confluence, I can play Corsair Crewfix a turn earlier, or Brimaz a turn earlier. Brimaz a turn earlier might be actually okay, because it creates a stream of blockers. Actually, yeah, that is a good point. Brimaz would be okay here, just because it creates a 1-1 blocker. Assuming he doesn't have some way to pump his guy, at which point it doesn't really matter much. And I can play Courser and hopefully gain enough life to survive. But wow, yeah, F8, wow, that changes the clock completely. Thanks for whoever suggested that. Oh, you want on that one? I need to remember F8. It's such an important shortcut. Okay, Hero Viroa. So I can Lightning Strike this alternatively. To have a Chumper for favorite Hoplite. Which is okay. He might have a God's Willing, but I'd rather the God's Willings used up now rather than later, I suspect. Selective Revelry is interesting. Do I want to Lightning Strike this thing now? He'll have Pro Red, so I can still attack. It's not the end of the world. I want him to use up God's Willing. If he has a Johnny's Presence, that's more awkward, because then I can't attack at all. Whatever. As I say, it's more awkward, but I still have to do it. Like, I have to go through these cards. There's not much I can do. Oh, Dragon's not going to do anything for me here, so yeah. Like, what's the option? I wait on a Johnny's Presence and it just crushes me later anyways. So he's going to attack with 1 at least. Yes. Favorite Hoplite. Now I have a few options. I could attack with Brimaz at least this turn, but it's not as good. Courser's actually pretty okay here, just because he gains me that magical 1 life. Let's play Courser first, actually. I would really, yeah. Okay, so I got Courser Crewfix. Play the Mana Confluence. And attack with Brimaz. probably gonna block the 1/1, but now at least I can double block the favorite hoplite, so that's not too bad. Pass the turn. You might have a trick with it, but at least he only kills one, I think. That's 8 toughness. Yeah, he can only kill one of these. That's awkward, but yeah. Like, what am I supposed? Oh, he's attacking with both. Okay, that's more interesting. I guess I just walk into whatever trick he has. Courser dies, and I try to kill the hero. Yeah. Like, whatever I do, this is not going to end up well. I try to kill the hero here, just because I can then cast Elspeth if I draw an untap land. Oh, wait, no, I have Courser on top. I can't do that. So, okay, Courser's dead. That's fine. That's acceptable. Can attack with Brimaz. That seems good. Okay, I really need to kill my opponent in time. So, oh damn it, misclicked. Glare of Heresy's pretty good. Let me just pass the turn with Destructive Verbal. We mana up, so I need to. Yep, block with the Cat Soldier. Glare of Heresy. Let's do that now, because it doesn't really fundamentally matter when I do it. And then play Fleece Mane, Lion to accelerate my clock. Wow, I can't believe I might win this. Just perseverance, I guess. If I get the clock down to a T. I don't think I care about ultimating Fleece Mane, do I? I don't even have time to figure out the math. I'm pretty sure tapping lands is incorrect. 30 seconds. Whoever suggested F8, massive, massive lifesaver. Really like you, by the way. Not right, like just about now. Brimaz, attack. Should do it. Yep. 18 seconds on the clock. We win our first round of the 8-man. Perfect in time to play again. Okay. Thank you for F8. You are a bloody superstar. That if I knew that earlier, that would have been fantastic. Do I want a mulligan? No. Oh, wow. Why don't they do that by default? Why not do F8 by default? I guess there's like the bluffing potential. I'd rather have the bluffing potential turned off and like win my matches on time. Pretty sure I haven't won too many matches on bluffs, and I've online, and I've won most, but I've lost more matches to time than bluffs. Oh wow. The other match, maybe if I had more time, I would have been more cautious, but because I had 1 minute left, I had to take a risk. Wow. No, this isn't a free win. This is just, like, you start your game and your opponents don't, like, necessarily start, like, right on time. Oh. That does make F8 very weird. Bottom. Like, because it's... I'm just playing a much faster deck now. Like, it's great. I don't... Like, look! Oh, I wish I had that temple now, but whatever. I guess you can't guess. Like, I can't guess I'm going to need the extra white. In the dark, I'll keep this hand. Wow. Whoa, Esper? Ooh, Esper plays Bile let's see what he Thoughtseize away. Probably Xenagos will go away. Yeah. Oh, he took the Brimaz? Interesting. I have the choice of playing a second Lion, but I'd rather here play the Caryatid. The reason for that is because with Caryatid, I can Monstrous my guy right away, so he can't tap out for something here, because then I Monstrous my guy and it's a problem for him. Like, yeah, like, I don't think he has any removal there, so I'm just going to Monstrous this guy, and all of a sudden it's going to be a 4/4 he can't deal with. He's playing Esper. Oh, Thoughtseize again, wow. I see why he took the Brimaz the first time. But I'm definitely Monstrousing this guy right away. Elspeth. I don't need a second Elspeth right now. Wait, F8! And all of a sudden, my turns are so much faster. Yeah, but you know what? Like, the thing is, I've lost so many more games to time online than to the fact that I've been bluffing a card or something, so, you know. Especially in block, like, once I'm tapped out, what's going to happen? I can always, like, F3 to remove all priority shields. Oh, that's interesting. Do I want Destructive Revelry up? Probably not, because I can go Banishing Light if he does something. So it's monstrous, then he probably has a counterspell. Do I want to play my Fleece Mane now? I don't want to play my Fleece Mane into like 4 untapped mana. Makes no sense. Mana Confluence goes on the bottom. Yeah, I'm okay with not casting my Fleece Mane here, because why would I? I have enough pressure. I don't want to like give him more of an out. So if he goes Prognostic Sphinx, then I can like untap and play Elspeth, which is a problem for him. Okay, he goes for Dragon Mantle here. That's fair. That creates a threat, so without like wasting any cards, and keeps him up with God's Willing. Uh, Again, God's Willing. I have to go through it. There's not much else you can do, you know. Like, eventually you just have to suck it up and just pretend it doesn't exist as a card. I pretend God's Willing never exists because there's nothing you can do. Most of the time it doesn't exist anyways. Stormwrath Dragon's pretty good, so in the future. So I gotta just play my Xenagos guy here, make a dude. Make a dude. Hopefully my opponent doesn't go too wide, because I don't have anything to, yeah. Declare attackers, yep. Fleece Mane. Doesn't have anything to deal with what's on board, so why give him an out? Banishing Light is probably quite weak in this matchup. Eidolon. Wow, he didn't bestow it. That's a pretty telltale sign, I gotta be honest. I have two options. I can go for Dragon or Destructive Revelry. I think Dragon and just Satyr is probably the best. I've won the game. Yeah, my opponent, like in the Esper Control Mirror, understood that things are not so good. Yeah, you can bluff more, but I find bluffing to be one of the most overrated things in Magic. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong on bluffing. I'm pretty sure bluffing is a minus EV play. Just realized that I can't really afford to get God's Willing here. But it's okay. I'm okay here. I'm comfortable behind my wall of stuff. And against the Esper deck, Arbor Colossus probably comes in. Let's see, Revel of the Fallen God comes in. Destructive Revelry comes out. Glare. Glare deals with Elspeth, so that's good enough for me. Perforos comes in. What comes out is like probably one Banishing Light at least. Maybe two, but it does deal with Elspeth. The Dictative Heliod's not good. The Planeswalkers stay in. Oh, the Carotids are terrible, actually, sorry, against Esper. I'd rather have an Arbor Colossus and a Pelucranos than the Carotids. It's very expensive curve now, but I think that's fine. Oh, wow. Okay, so he's got a 9-8-8 guy. Still can't... Well, he could attack, I guess. He's just wondering, because I could kill either of them quite easily. I have two options. I can either kill the Eidolon bestowing this, making this back into a free, or I could kill this Eidolon. It's attacking me with both. I think I'm actually okay killing the Phalanx Leader here and taking 7. Because once Phalanx Leader's dead, and the other Eidolon's killed by Destructive Revelry, and I have Elspeth to make sure God's Willing doesn't exist. Does that work? Actually, does that work? Does all this stuff work? Because I'm not going to have enough mana to go Elspeth and Destructive Revelry. So it'll be a turn where I'm a bit vulnerable. I think that's fine. So that's an 8-8. Yeah. One vulnerability turn is fine. I can also go like Elspeth minus, but that kills the dragon, which I don't like. And I don't need to do that, I think. Pelucranos is okay, but it's no Elspeth. Oh, sorry. I could go Elspeth plus and make the Pelucranos actually here. That doesn't seem too bad. And that way I don't really need to deal with that stuff now, so that seems good actually. There we go. And next turn I've got the hugest of Pelucranos activations. Now he has to go like triple God's Willing to actually get through. Do I want to mulligan this hand? No. Not against Esper, or most players at least. Launch the fleet, okay. So he has one launch the fleet. Does he have a second one? Is that what's going on? Yeah, when I play limited for sure. Okay, so he goes Thoughtseize. I don't agree with Thoughtseize turn 1, but unless if he has a temple, that's wrong. Unless he has 2 Thoughtseizes, in which case maybe. If he has like Thoughts. Okay. They're all attacking me, right? Yeah. This shouldn't be too difficult to figure out. Just like, yeah. He doesn't have anything to give his guys trample, so I don't know why he sacrifices Phalanx Leader if he has a launch the fleet. That seems poor. Let's see, Temple of Abandon. Oh, he took the Courser. Yeah, that's the right play. Plains, I'm okay about that. I'll draw eventually more lands. So, blockers. They're all attacking me. So, let's see. The 8-8's going to get chumped. That's a 3-4 that prevents all damage. That's a 6-6. So, let's see. I could block the 3-4 with Pelucranos, maybe. Munch a token. Munch a token. Sacrifice a token. Actually, if they're just trading, I can just go Pelucranos on this. Actually, Pelucranos can eat this guy if he has nothing, so. I want him to use up his last trick for sure. Yeah, so one soldier gets through for damage, and yeah, I don't think that that's going to lead to anything conducive. Oh, did I not F8 in this game? F8 again. Fantastic card. Coordinated assault. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Pelucranos dies when he didn't need to. Blocking the Eidolon with Dragon doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. To be fair, I shouldn't have blocked the favorite Hoplite potentially, but I felt like getting his last trick out of the hand was correct. Put some soldiers. Play a Carotid. I could be going towards Xenagos' ultimate. That doesn't actually seem the worst. Because I have like Destructive Revelry, I can probably afford to attack here. Because I also have... Although if he has like a Launch the Fleet top deck, that's kind of awkward, I guess. But if he does, I can still do stuff, so... Do I pass here? I guess I pass, because my plan is to Elspeth Ultimate and win. Why did I board in... Oh yeah, he's playing Esper, sorry. I was like, why did I board in this card? It doesn't seem very good against black and blue. Then I remembered. Yeah. Would have been good to... I probably shouldn't have blocked the Pelucranos on this guy. I thought he had one trick left. I just, yeah, didn't realize which one it was. Because with that trick, I can eat the soldiers and these guys become less good. Annex inside me, that gives trample. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. But see, getting rid of the coordinated assaults... I mean, Pelucranos would have aided the Annex inside me, but by getting rid of the coordinated assault, you don't die. I'm just going to attack with Fleece Mane here and not play my second Fleece Mane. I don't want to get Bile Blighted. That seems really horrible. He may not have it, to be fair. But that seems really bad for me if he does. Why take a risk? Beginning of combat step. Okay. What is he going to do? There is a question of whether I keep the Destructive Revelry for later. Which I may. Okay. Funny thing is, I can ultimate both Xenagos and Elspeth on the exact same turn. Oh wow, Dictate. That's not something I expected. Let's see. Add. I don't really care about the mana here. It's not important. I have enough mana to play Dictate and Destructive Revelry, so I don't need to like show my hand, so to speak. I could also minus. Actually, minusing Elspeth does guarantee me that he only has like 3 tokens in Nanex and Siamede, but I think I'm okay with putting soldiers in play and having Dictate of Heliod for when he attacks. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's fine. Yes. I have enough mana to play Dictate and Destructive Revelry, so I'm going to keep the surprise factor. Back here, just F8. F8. Oh. F8 is probably when I tap my lands. Okay, he plays Favorite Hoplite. That's it. Game over. Like, Elspeth... I can show him the Dictate because I'm not playing it post-board. I think Grand Theft Ashok is actually quite good. Yeah, it's really hard to play online. I don't disagree with that much. But yeah, I think it's quite good. Pelucranos comes in, Lightning Strikes come in, Glares come in, Dictate comes out, Elspeth comes out. One Elspeth comes out, by the way, not all of them. The Planeswalkers, basically the Planeswalkers are not the greatest usually. And probably the Carotids. Wait, that God of the Fortune not be in the deck. Carotids can come out post-board because you board in so much removal, so... especially because he's playing a bigger version of the red white deck. Sorry. That looks like counterspell mana. I could walk Brimaz into dissolve. Oh, he's tapping out. Oh, he's heroes down. Why would he heroes downfall right away? There is no drawback to waiting there. Temple of Abandon. I'd rather try and draw a card. That's a threat, but we'll see. Why would he heroes downfall right away? I don't understand. Here, he's mulliganed. I have some Fleecemane Lions. I won't mulligan. I need a red mana though. So hopefully the temple. Oh wow, he's mulliganing to like 4. No, to 5. Sorry. I don't think that version plays Ordeals, thankfully. I need red mana. That's just gonna like troll me with a bunch of red cards, isn't it? Let's see. He has counterspell mana. Wow, he plays Nick Foss? That is greedy. That is greedy. Play Fleecemane Line here. F8. I'll attack with Brimaz. Is he gonna Hero's Downfall now? That'd be really funny for me. I don't need to play Xenagos into his counterspell. I've won the match. He mulliganed to 5 and had nothing, so okay, that's easy. So that was the 8-man. So I'm 2-0 in the 8-man. I don't want to play Xenagos because, yeah, there's an it's not worth going into a counterspell, especially because he's lost 2 Thoughtseizes already. Although if he plays Prognostic Sphinx, it's not great for me either, so... yeah, right now I think I have too many answers in the deck. I should be warding out more Banishing Lights. It is positive bias in the sense that I drew like 2 or 3 of them, but yeah. I think my opponent has a counterspell. It makes sense, according to how he played. Prognostic Sphinx? Oh, Silence the Believers, okay. Well, that's good, because it gets Xenagos into play. And if I'm lucky, I can make Elspeth come into play later. Although I don't really see many scenarios where that's going to happen, realistically. Maybe he didn't have a counterspell, by the way. Maybe. I just like to play around it, because it did look pretty suspicious. Like, between the yeah, it looked suspicious. So I won the match because, yeah, managed to slip. I think I slipped through his counter magic, that's what happened. He probably had like 2 or 3 counter spells, and... yeah, I don't know what... yeah, he probably needed to get rid of Brimaz earlier. Okay, so 2-1 in the daily, 2-1 in the main. 8-man, sorry. So I've got 2 more matches. Actually, I really liked these matches because I played a lot more against aggro. And yeah, the Naya deck has a lot more trouble against aggro than the Chapin deck, I think. Because Lightning Strike it's okay, but it's no Hero's Downfall. Blaze of Heresy were actually quite good. Sorcery Speed, but at least they, were cheap. I'm gonna see if there's anything in the block I can add to my sideboard against those decks. Like, let me know. You guys let me know if you can think of something that would be good against those decks. I know there's Magma Stray. I'm gonna, like, align the cards that might be good against aggro here. Losing blue and black. Because I think the Naya deck is beating the Chapin's deck and it will beat Bug quite easily. if you can play around Silence the Believers, because it has extra Planeswalkers to the Chapin's deck. So I think this deck's really good. It's just bad. It's just not worse. It's obviously worse against aggro, but aggro doesn't usually do too well. So like it has low win percentages across the board. So I think I'm okay playing a deck that aims to be better against the metagame of day two because yeah. Sedgecorp is interesting, although the blue-white heroic deck, which is probably the best aggro deck, does yeah, go over that quite nicely. I'll put the Sedgecorp in here. Magma Spray I talked about. Anger the Gods I would love to play. So, by the way, the one drawback about this version of the deck is that I can't play Chain to the Rocks, which would be incredible, but removal. But yeah, I've got 2 mountains in the whole deck to enchant, so we're not going there. Could play God's Willing my own, but that would be against control, and I don't think I need that help the help there. Hope Eidolon's interesting, because you're creating a threat in the process, but yeah. You want something that preempts their God's Willing, such as Sedge Scorpion. Well, I guess. I mean, Here's the thing. God's Willing is always going to blow me out. There's almost no way I can play around that card. So I may as well figure out ways to God's Willing is worse for me than a Johnny's Presence because a Johnny's Presence is better combat. But yeah, God's Willing there's just nothing I can do about. What about Impressive Raises? Nah, probably not. Nah. It's like a bad pacifism. They could God's Willing as well. Yoked Ox. I could add extra glares. That's one option. Yeah. They Guardians of Meletis. Problem is they play also Aqueous Form and what's it called? Stratus Walk. So yeah, and like Banishing Light as well. So yeah, Last Breath. Remove the creature when it's relevant. Irrelevant. I could play my own Ordeal of Heliod. Um, Reprisal is interesting. Reprisal is Reprisal is very interesting. It's instant speed, and it hits everything that Lightning Strike doesn't, with the exception of a free 4 favorite hoplite. Reprisal is actually Reprisal. Reprisal has the drawback of being a white spell against the one threat you would want it against, but moving swiftly on. They still haven't fixed this card? Really? I have no idea. Come on. This has to be embarrassing. Like, come on. This can't be that hard to fix or patch. No? No, you have to keep the removed in? Like, come on, guys. This isn't looking good on you. Sorry. Got distracted by the funny. Now I'm at free drops. Guardians of Melitus. I could add the Guardians. I don't think it's good, but shredded wings, I guess. Time to feed. Usually, the guy you're trying to kill is larger than yours. Peak eruption. That's Siren Song Lyre. I skipped over that. The problem is like having 2 mana locked every turn is really, 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 really bad. Um, that's a problem. If it was Trip Noose, actually, I'd do it because it doesn't like need a creature either. I think the fact you need a creature and 2 mana is too much. Yeah, above Naya does not do it. Anger. Problem with Anger of the Gods is I don't see when I'm gonna board it in because the matchups where I'm boarding Anger also tend to be the matchups where Sylvan Keratin is good. Um, and where Fleece mainline is good. So I'm not a big fan of Anger in this deck because you can't abuse the symmetry. Ironically, I'd be okay for Pyroclasm. Hmm. Spear of Heliod just doesn't do it. It's too slow. Akron Horse would be interesting. Uh, it would need to make flying colorless horsemen, so it's not likely. At 4 mana, I mean, probably won't find anything. At 4 mana, like I'm looking for hyper trumps basically, like things that once in play. No, not Mastiff. I'm not that desperate.